Hello there. Okay, we're going to talk about balancing chemical equations, and it's actually kind of fun once you practice it because I'm going to teach you a way to do it, and it's pretty straightforward. So once you do it a few times, I had a few students last year that didn't really like math, but once they practiced this a lot, they liked doing it because they felt like they were really good at it. Okay, like anything, this is one of those things that you just have to practice over and over. The nice thing though is that you don't have to really memorize anything. If you practice it a few times, not a few times, a few hundred times, it becomes part of you and you just know how to do it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, balancing chemical equations. So here I have a chemical equation. Now, when I look at it, I'm going to count the magnesiums on this side. Magnesium reacts with oxygen, and it produces magnesium oxide. And like we said before, when a reaction happens, this breaks up, they recombine and become this. Conservation of mass says that the number of magnesiums here must be the same on this side. Well, that works out. There's one and there's one. If there's no number, it means there's one. Here, there are two oxygens. There should be two oxygens on that side. No, there aren't. This reaction is not balanced. So we have to balance it. What does that mean? It means we have to put a number in front of each of these so that the number of particles balance out. So you have the process right here. You can pause it and read it if you want to. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So let's go to the reaction. So I have this reaction. Step number one, I'm going to write all the different elements under the arrow. So I have, what types do I have? I have magnesium and I have oxygen. That's all I have. Magnesium, oxygen. On this side, I'm going to write how many I have of each. Well, I have one magnesium, that's a 1 and a 1. So I have one magnesium there. How many oxygens do I have? Well, I have one molecule, but that molecule has two. So I have two oxygens. On this side, I have one magnesium and one oxygen. I can clearly see these are balanced, this is not. How am I going to balance it? Okay, so we're going to see, I need two oxygens on this side to balance the two that I have over here. So I'm going to add a big 2. Now, when I add a big 2, that means I'm making 2 of these lumps. If I have 2 of these, this is affecting the magnesium and the oxygen. So I have to, this is like the tally or how much I have at that time. So I have to change this. And it's changing the magnesium. Instead of 1, now I have 2 times 1, I have 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Let's do the 2's the same way. Okay, so 2 Mgs and 2 oxygens. Yay, I balanced my 2 oxygens. But wait a second, I messed up my magnesiums. They aren't balanced anymore. So I have to go and put another big number somewhere. Well, I'm going to have to balance the 1 to the 2, so I'm going to put a 2 over here. 2 times 1 is 2. And I have 2 magnesiums, 2 magnesiums, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygens. It seems to be balanced. Let's check it out. 2 times 1 magnesium, that's 2. 2 times 1 magnesium, that's 2. 2 oxygens, and 2 times 1, 2 oxygens. It's balanced. That's the method to do it, okay? When you're balancing, you can just write the numbers there. You can leave that blank or leave a 1. It really doesn't matter, okay? I hope that helps. There you go. You know how to balance chemical equations. We'll practice a few more just to make sure we're on the right track. Okay, let's do these. I have, paper. I have sodium and chlorine. 1 and 1, 2 chlorines and 1 chlorine. Doesn't work. So let's see. First step, I list the different elements I have. Well, I have Na and I have Cl. Remember, capital letter, small letter, that means it's one element. Same thing here. Okay, let's do this. How many sodiums do I have on this side? I have 1. I have 2 chlorines. How many sodiums? 1, 2 chlorines. Oh, sorry, whoops, my mistake. 1 chlorine. So let's do this. I have to balance, those match, those don't. I have to put a 2 in front to make the Cl2. 2 times, now I have to readjust my numbers. So 2 times 1, now I have 2 sodiums. 2 times 1, I have 2 chlorines. Now, I've balanced my chlorines, my sodiums are not balanced. I have to go back and change this to a 2. So I have to put a big number in front of the Na, turn that into a 2. Now remember, you are only allowed to add big numbers. You cannot change the little numbers after the elements, okay? You cannot put a 2 here or a 1 here. Those little numbers, you cannot change them. Only big numbers. Okay, next example. Oh boy, this is a little more complicated, but we're going to follow the steps. Remembering that I can only put big numbers in front, right? I can't touch those little numbers. Okay. How many elements do I have that are different? I have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. I'm going to add them. So I have 1 carbon, 4 hydrogens, 2 oxygens. I have 1 carbon, no other carbons. Good, 1. I have 3 oxygens, 2 plus 1 is 3, and I have 2 hydrogens. Okay, don't be intimidated. It's not that bad. So, let's see. I usually try and balance towards the most complicated molecule. To me, it looks like this one. So I'm going to try and balance to this guy. So my carbons are balanced. My hydrogens, oh, I have 4 here. I have only 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here to change that to a 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And I can't forget to update my oxygens. I have 2 times 1 is 2 oxygens, but I also have 2 over here. So total, I have 4 oxygens. I have balanced my hydrogens. That's great. My carbons are also great. I need to balance my oxygens. What number times this gives me 4? 2 times 2, I update it, 4. 1 and 1, 4 and 4, 4 and 4. Balanced. There's no number here, so that's a 1. You can leave it without a number. Okay, last example. We're going to make it even a little more complicated. Okay, first step, I list my elements. I have lithium, I have hydrogen, I have nitrogen, and I have oxygen. How many of each? I have 1, I have 1 hydrogen, I have 1 nitrogen, and 3 oxygens. 1 lithium, 1 nitrogen, 3 oxygens, 2 hydrogens. Oh, so close. It was nearly already balanced. So let's do this. I have to change the 1 to a 2 to make it balanced. So I'm going to do it, and just to make it clear, I'm going to do this in different colors. So I'm going to change this to a 2 in pink. Okay, we'll do the little swirly. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2 hydrogens. But that changes how many there are of these. So 2 times 1 nitrogen is 2 nitrogens. And 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, my lithiums are balanced. My hydrogens are balanced. How about my nitrogens? My nitrogens need to get balanced. Let's do nitrogen. I have 1 and I need 2. So let's multiply it all by 2. 2 times 1 lithium is 2. 2 times 1 nitrogen is 2. And 2 times 3 oxygens is 6. Hey, wait a second. This is looking pretty good. 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 6 and 6. I'm just missing this one. So let's do the last one. I have 2 lithiums on this side. I have only 1 on this side, so I have to multiply it by 2. And I am done. This is balanced. 2, 2, 2, and 1. Okay, so even though this looked pretty daunting, it's really not that bad. You just have to be careful to multiply through, don't change any little numbers, and also double check that there isn't oxygen in two different places. You have to count them all. Okay, so this should be good, and don't forget, get it done.